Alright, hello everybody, welcome to our next lesson here. This is testing personalities. This is for our unit or the unit testing in psychology. So please take a moment there to look over the objectives and standards. And our desired result. What can test in psychology tell about personalities? The use of personality test. Personality tests can help with identifying an individual's characteristics and identify any problems. They can also help predict how a person might behave in the future. Types of personality test. Objective personality test. For personality testing, some of the most widely used tests are based on pencil and paper responses. These are known as objective tests. Usually constructed in a limited choice or forced choice format, a person must select from a small number of possible responses. So as you see in here, as you see in the example here, you might have taken something like this in the past or more recently, where they kind of give you a survey or a poll, and I am easygoing, and you check strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, no opinion, somewhat agree, strongly agree. And then a psychiatrist or a psychologist or someone looking at those results would maybe look at your answers, maybe look at your results and your answers and decide, what your personality was, or maybe if you were suffering from any type of psychological disorders or something like that. Excuse me. Examples of objective personality test. A little bit of information here. A, the MMPI, Minnesota Multifaceted, I believe I'm saying that word correctly, Personality Inventory, published in 1990 but has been updated to MMPI 2. No right or wrong answers, but person can respond true, false, and cannot say. Okay, reveals habits, fears, delusions, sexual attitudes, and symptoms of psychological disorders. A psychologist may compare answers to scales to identify potential psychological disorders. B, the CPI, California Psychological Inventory, similar to the MMPI but is developed for more general use. There are some questions that relate to psychological disorders, but not all do. Used to predict things like stress, responsibility, self-control, and tolerance. Can be used to help identify people who may need help. So a person may not be having a psychological disorder or be suffering from a psychological disorder, but maybe they're just stressed, maybe they have some other issues going on, maybe they need some help with responsibility. So the CPI or California Psychological Inventory may be helpful in that way. Now C, the Myers-Briggs Test, MBTI, developed by Catherine Cook Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs Myers. You can see their two pictures here on the left-hand side of the screen. I'm sorry their names got cut off there. I do apologize for that. But Catherine Cook Briggs is on the left-hand side bottom, and then Isabel Briggs Myers is on the right-hand side bottom. These were based off of Carl Jung's views, or Jung's views. You can see him in the top kind of center picture there. Okay? Test focuses on how a person takes in information, makes decisions, and approaches daily tasks. Uses 4 different scales: extroversion versus introversion, intuition versus sensing, feeling versus thinking, and judging versus uses 4 different scales: extroversion versus introversion, intuition versus sensing, feeling versus thinking, and judging versus perceiving. I do apologize about that. Creators of this test believed that each person's personality is a combination of these characteristics. Now, types of personality test. Projective personality test. Different from objective personality test, projective test ask a person to freely give their own opinion or interpretation. Use open-ended examinations to invite people to tell stories about the pictures, objects, or diagrams. The person tells something about their desires, fears, wishes, or other aspects of personality. Examples of projective personality test. A, the Rorschach, and I believe I'm pronouncing his name correctly, I apologize if I'm not, the Rorschach ink blot test. Swiss psychiatrist Hermann Rorschach, the top picture there, developed the test in 1921. 10 cards with ink blot designs, 10 cards, with ink blot designs and a system for interpreting responses. No right or wrong answers about what the person sees or describes. Psychologists may analyze what a person sees in the ink blot to understand their personality. B, the TAT, thematic apperception test, and we kind of talked about this in one of our previous units, one of our previous lessons. But again, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. Developed by Henry Murray, 1943. You can see his picture down there at the bottom. Consists of 20 cards containing pictures of vague but suggestive situations. Individuals are to tell a story about the pictures by what is shown on the cards, such as how the characters are thinking or feeling. Responses are used to identify motivation or personality characteristics. And this is an example here, so you can see by looking at this picture, maybe you're coming up with your own kind of story in your mind about what's going on here in the picture. Maybe they're friendly, maybe they're not friendly, maybe they're co-workers and they're talking about work, maybe they're a father and son, or maybe a father-in-law and son-in-law, maybe they're complete strangers. What could they be talking about? Are they being friendly? Is one being friendly and one's not happy they're talking to the other? So that's what this test was used for. Okay, so our closure. What can tests in psychology tell about personalities? Think about the different types of tests. Think about what they can tell about a person or about a person's personality, and that'll help you answer your questions. Please try your best on the questions that follow and let me know of any questions or concerns. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and night, and I hope to talk to you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.